These are the sounds of Brain Master student Serra Hoagland conserving wildlife. Welcome to our podcast. My name is Sean McKnight, and I'll be your host. Today, we're visiting with Serra to figure out the age-old question of how did the chicken cross the road? Serra, how did the chicken cross the road?
That's a great question, Sean. I don't know how the chicken crossed the road, but I can tell you we are researching how wildlife cross roads, and it is really important to figure out where wildlife are moving across these barriers, and that's what our current research is looking at right now.
So, you said barriers. What do you mean by a barrier for wildlife?
Well, these are things like major roads and highways. They prevent animals from moving, from one side of the freeway to the other side of the freeway where they might have good habitat. So it's a big barrier for animals.
Interesting. So essentially, a road, even though there aren't necessarily fences or anything like that, is a barrier for wildlife because there's cars zipping along could potentially run over that wildlife.
Yeah. So part of our project is looking at roadkill. And so we see animals that are on the side of the road, and so we're marking those and adding that to our database and, using the roadkill information.
Oh, fascinating. So where are you doing this work?
Our study region is primarily around UC Santa Barbara's campus and looking at all the open spaces around here. And actually there's about a dozen open spaces near campus. So there's lots of wildlife habitat, but there's a lot of barriers between these habitats.
I've heard reports that there have been sightings of black bears down near Goleta Beach, which is near UC Santa Barbara campus.
Yeah, that's definitely true. We've had lots of black bear sightings, and the important thing, though, is we just don't know how those black bears are getting down to some of these areas, and we're interested in looking at how that network is connected and why they're even traveling down to these areas too is an important question. So that's part of the whole research.
So how do you do this? Do you go out and sit next to a freeway and wait for a black bear to come along?
No, we are mainly out there looking at current crossings, so different underpasses and bridges and culverts where animals might be passing through. And then we're also looking at all of our museum data and adding that to our database.
Wow, so this is pretty fascinating, Serra. Can you just in a nutshell give us some reasons why this is so important for the big picture?
Well, it's important for a number of reasons. First, we are losing a lot of our biodiversity, and so using these corridors to help prevent species extinctions is important. But also, we just want to be able to preserve wildlife for future generations. And once we lose a species, it's gone forever. So hopefully this research addresses that and preserves wildlife populations in the future.
Well, thanks, Serra Hoagland, for being our guest today. We look forward to hearing more about your research in the future.
Thank you, Sean.